Okay, so last week we announced that Walmart was about to purge their entire pharmacy system, all customer profiles from discount cards, all discount cards. And guess what? That actually happened, except for our card. We were actually the only card that was not purged from the Walmart customer profile system. Now, folks, that speaks volumes to the pharmacy-friendly nature of our card and also our relationship with a big box store like Walmart. Of the hundreds of cards out there, ours was the only one left safe and remained within those customer profiles. Every other card was purged out of there, including the big PBMs. And we hear that they will also no longer be accepting some of our competitors' cards. So it could open up a huge window of opportunity. Anybody you know that goes to Walmart, they better have our card, because there's a pretty good chance that the card they had in their profile will no longer be there. And if they don't have the card, they're not going to get a discount. They can actually represent the card. But if it's one of the PBMs that will no longer be accepted there, they're going to have a pretty bad experience. So think of anybody you know that goes to Walmart, you want to get the cards in their hand. Customers on our end may need to represent their card, even though it's still in their profile. We haven't had any kind of news about that, but it's pretty proactive to let anybody that you know who shops at Walmart to bring that card back with them. Best way, download it on your phone. You'll have it with you at all times. So some of the questions that we get on a pretty continual basis. This is probably the most common one. How does our card work, and how do we make money? That's a really good question, isn't it? And I bet you a lot of folks on this call tonight don't know the right answer to that. Well, what we do is contract directly with pharmacies, and they agree to offer our members discounted prices on the cost of all approved FDA-approved medication, both brand and generic. And the beauty of our model is we only win when we win. Basically, we only make money when we're the lowest cost option. When we beat the copay or the cash price, we become the third-party administrator of record. We adjudicate the claim, and that discounted price that the member is paying includes our flat third-party fee, of which we do a revenue share with you. So, yes, when the lowest cost option, when it's us, we become the third-party admin of record, and we adjudicate the claim. Our discounted price includes our third-party fee, of which we do a revenue share with you. Now, the beauty of our card, it pulls back the sheets electronically, and it guarantees the member the lowest of all prices. You heard Jerry on some of our open mic calls talk about his ibuprofen experience. If he used his Aetna card, our insurance, he pays $15. That's our copay. If he asks for the cash price, it's $4 less, $10.99. And if he uses our card, it's half the copay, $7.50. So a follow-up question with, how's our card work? Why do pharmacies actually agree to accept our card? Well, no matter where you live, if it's a rural town or a big metropolitan area, you'll see pharmacies on every street corner. In fact, you'll see multiple pharmacies within a block. There's usually a chain like CVS, Walgreens, or Rite Aid. Right down the street, there's probably a box store like a Walmart, Target, or Kmart. There's an independent and supermarkets as well. And they're all vying for that same traffic. And they depend on a lot more than just RX or prescription sales. In fact, most of them drive the majority of their revenue with things that are on the aisles. And that's why, quite honestly, the pharmacy is typically in back of the store. You got to walk through the aisles, and hopefully something will get your attention and you'll be buying more than just picking up your scripts. What our program does, it levels the playing field, and it enables that participating pharmacy to be where they need to be competitive price-wise, but yet still drive a profit. No pharmacy will ever lose money by using our card. Now, will they gouge the client? No, because our contracted price is a fair price, and we also pay them a higher dispensing fee. Our program also builds client loyalty and retention. We know that a third of prescriptions are never actually filled, and the biggest reason is cost. Well, purchase, put it that way. A lot of them get filled but get re-inventoried later because the customer comes to pick it up. It's too expensive. They can't afford it. So it helps that pharmacy retain that client and build customer loyalty. And our technology drives traffic and market share to their store. We have an award-winning price engine that is unlike any other in the industry with accurate pricing. And basically that's what consumers do. They use that pricing tool, hopefully, rather than blindly walking to a pharmacy and know where to get the exact lowest price. When we beat the insurance pay, insurance copay, they actually make a higher profit. Now, on a cash deal, if someone's uninsured or they have a high deductible to pay in retail, yeah, like I said, they're not going to gouge the client. They're not going to make as large a profit. But whenever we can equalize a funded deal, meaning that we come in less than the insurance copay, they'll actually make more money by collecting less because we pay them a higher dispensing fee. We pass through all of our negotiated rebates, and we'll never, ever steal their client like the PBM will for a 90-day mail order because we do no mail order. Perfect follow-up question to that, and you've probably heard this, how many pharmacies accept our card? Well, we have over 63,000 pharmacies nationwide, and it includes all the major drug chains like Walgreens, Rite Aid, and CVS, and soon they'll be the big two, because I'm sure you've heard in our newsletter that Walgreens is attempting to purchase Rite Aid right now. All the box stores, Kmart, Target, Walmart, the supermarket chains, everyone with the exception of Publix, who basically takes no one's card. Wholesale clubs, BJ, Sam's Club, and 98% of all independents operate within our network. Now, do we individually contract with all the mom, pop, or individual independents? No. We're contracted through their third-party wholesaler who they buy their drugs from, like a McKesson or Cardinal Health. But all the major chains we have direct contracts with. How's our card different from others? Listen, we actually touched on this last week, but it definitely bears to mention again because it's very important. First and foremost, we're not a PBM, we're a PBA. All other cards out there that don't roll back to us rolls back to a PBM. And a PBM's core focus is working with insurance companies in the funded world. They administer prescription plans. And their focus is squarely on that because they make an average of $22 for every claim they process by playing spread and holding back rebates and making their shareholders happy. So there's very little focus, if any, on the discount card space. It's a quick money grab. This is all that we do. This is all that we do. We work only in the discount card space and don't work with insurance companies. So therefore, we have no conflict offering even those with prescription insurance our significantly discounted price, which opens up a much wider market than the dwindling number of uninsured. Our discount levels are typically higher than the PBM models, and that's because we have lower third-party fees. Those third-party fees affect the final cost that the consumer pays, and that's another reason why we compete well in the funded world against an insurance copay. We have a much stickier product with continued usage. So basically, when someone uses our card for the first time, we have a much higher win rate, meaning that that client is going to continue to use that card time and time again. As I mentioned last week, you got one shot to win a customer. If it doesn't work the first time, doesn't save the money, goes in the trash and we'll never use it again. We collect no personal information, not even an email address. Most of our competitors, you have to give at least a name and email address because they have an agenda. They're either going to market, use something else, or they're going to sell that to a third-party marketing company who is actually going to blast you with all kinds of junk and spam mail. We say print as many cards as you like. We don't care who you are, and you can hand that same card to anybody. Our technology drives much higher conversions. Our pharmacy pricing tool is unlike any other in the industry because what it doesn't give an average price. It actually drills right down to our contract level every pharmacy, and the pricing returned is real-time pricing at that store that day. And also with ours, unlike any other out there, you can price a limited amount of medications at once, and it will return total lowest to total highest cost by pharmacy. There's no other tool out there that lets you price more than one medication at one pharmacy at a time. Another huge question we get pretty regularly is what type of discount does our card provide? Well, we average on generics about 44% off retail, or about $34 to $35 in savings per script. And on brands, we're typically 20 to 25% off retail. Now, if you think about the difference in discount levels there, 20 to 25% is still substantial. Even though brands are much more expensive, the cost to bring to market is much more expensive for a brand manufacturer because they have to go through research and development, FDA approval and testing, and then marketing the product. 13 years later, when that patent expires, the cost to create that pill is less than a tenth of a penny a pill. But the markups are well over 3,000%. Now, we've provided savings as high as 98% off retail. Works well for those with insurance. Why? Because we're under $10 on 21 of the top 25 most prescribed generics, and we're under 15 on 23 of the top 25. And obviously, anyone that gets your card, you want to encourage them to use the pricing tool to find the absolute lowest price in their area. Now, for this particular drug, Walmart was kind of high. There were several pharmacies that were $12.20, where on one drug, CVS is only discounting down to about $134. So if I walked into CVS with the discount card, our discount card, and I had a $25 copay, well, I'm throwing that card in the trash and I'm paying my copay because CVS is not doing me any favors here.